Inconsistent.
Yeah, that's in a fucked up key. Alright, so let's get started. Fucking haven't.
All right, clap it in. You're the guy. That's the one.
Alright, clap it in. You ready? There's a gate.
Happy. Wait, what holiday? Is it actually President's Day? Is that the name of the holiday?
That is not the official name of the holiday.
It's not.
No.
What's the name of the holiday?
The federal government still refers to it as George Washington's birthday.
Really?
Federally.
Over here, I got Lincoln's birthday on the 12th, and then President's Day on the 19th.
Yeah, so originally it
Where
was
does George-
celebrated on the 22nd.
But because it's his birthday, they're like, hey, why don't we celebrate them all?
No, that's another misconception. And that's something that we carry to this day. But a little fun fact, it was initially to celebrate George Washington's birthday, which was February 22nd. Later on, they wanted to add Abraham Lincoln. And they tried to change the name to President's Day, but it was rejected by the council.
But then what? Abraham Lincoln still got his birthday?
So instead, they moved the day because they wanted to honor Abraham Lincoln as well. So they moved the day to the 3rd February of the calendar.
This is the quality. of
That's from the
podcast.
future.
That's
That's the quality.
What is that magical glass? I should probably mute mine just in case.
Yeah, you should probably check yours too. So
All right. That's what I like. This is the quality of podcast I like. Give me that information. That's what I need. I like to have that.
Yeah, it was interesting that they rejected calling it President's Day. But again, it is known as President's Day today. But within the government, they don't refer it.
So within the government,
you
have Lincoln's birthday and then Washington's birthday.
The other way around. But yeah.
What?
It's George Washington's birthday, so this is George Washington's birthday. We've been celebrating it now.
But Lincoln's birthday's first.
Why would Lincoln's birthday be first? Oh, I'm talking about chronologic. Who was born the first? You're over here like mad hard.
I'm talking about February. All right. I'm like confused. I'm like, wait, what? And so you're like, wait, George Washington was born before Lincoln. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah, so first they were celebrating George Washington's birthday. Then later on, in honor of Lincoln, they tried to change it federally to President's Day, but amongst them, their little gang, government, they kept it as George Washington's birthday. But we know it as an international holiday, as a national holiday as President's Day. And we think of the presidents that we're honoring, all of them. You're a president, congratulations, you get a day. But no, it's really to honor just those two.
You think some presidents were like, when Barack Obama got elected, they were like, oh, damn, now we got to share that with this guy.
I think George Washington was like, fuck these niggas. I think that's what happened.
When he got elected president, he only had one tooth.
Who?
George Washington.
Oh, my God.
The rest of his teeth were fake. They were made out of like bone and something else and actually other people's teeth. They pulled it out and put it in his mouth.
Please don't tell me it was slave teeth.
They were 100% slave teeth. And supposedly the mechanism that was like, they were like dentures. They were like connected. And supposedly there was like a spring that kept his mouth open. And he had to physically hold it entire time.
So that nigga was tight all the time.
That's probably where they were like, he's the general. Look how angry he is.
And meanwhile, he's just holding his teeth.
Meanwhile, he's just trying to keep it together, trying to save that one tooth. That's crazy. Welcome to the basement, guys.
Yo.
Fun facts
of President's Day. And it's a day that, again, we just think, oh, okay, the presidents get a day. We got every other holiday. Why not the presidents get a holiday? I just find it messed up that they didn't want to change the name.
This is like Picard Day.
This is like Picard Day. I just find it interesting that they didn't want to
name it
Acknowledge
President's Day.
President's Day? Like,
I guess they don't want to lose Washington. I think that's probably what they were thinking. We don't want to lose Washington's Day.
yeah, like he's the first one.
He has to have his own day. He's different than the rest of the presidents. He's special. He actually didn't live in the White House. Did you know that?
What?
He never lived in the White House.
Who?
George Washington.
Well, there probably wasn't one yet.
There wasn't one yet. That's right. He built it. He
built it.
But he didn't build it with his hands, but he got it.
He was like, "Yo, slaves, build this shit.
Yeah,
I need to
basically.
sleep here."
Get it done. In fact, give me your teeth. Got a cavity again.
When you're done and you die, just know
I'm taking them teeth.
taking those wisdom teeth. I gotta chew on some bone.
But the capital of the United States was actually New York City, and then Philadelphia.
So New York City was the capital.
Yeah, there was there is a Capitol building in New York. We should
And is
find out
that
what's
building right off the Brooklyn Bridge that has all the statues, and it looks like it's
I don't know.
I always thought when I got off the Brooklyn Bridge, and it's literally when you get onto Century Street or whatever the main exit is, you get off there, and then you're at that light where you make a left to go to the west side. There's a building right there to the right that looks mad like, yeah, that would have been it.
The Samuel Osgood House.
Samuel Osgood House.
At 1 Cherry Street in Manhattan. Let's see what it looks like. Copy.
It has like a pillar thing.
1 Cherry Street.
One.
You should look that up over here.
Yeah, but you see the setup that you had that we were talking about in the break?
We're gonna put it here somewhere.
All he's doing is giving me work that we could do right here, right now, because he's a communist.
Does this still? It gotta still be around.
That building?
Yeah, it gotta be.
Show me at least. Jesus.
No, you're gonna think about it.
I'm gonna think about it. I guarantee
It's
I'm gonna.
it's very unassuming. It's a box.
Oh,
That's all it is.
damn! So it's not the building I'm thinking.
No, it's just a box.
Because this building is mad intricate. It looks like churchy.
No, that came after. That's when America started getting money. They were like, all right, let's.
That's when they started getting full of themselves. Got it.
Because all these buildings, if you look at the buildings, another thing about America too, if you look at the buildings we had in the beginning, they were colonial-looking houses, right? Like the way they kind of looked in Europe. And then it wasn't until we started really building ourselves as a nation that we started copying Rome and making like Roman buildings with pillars and stuff. Because the way the houses just before, they were just cottages. Like if you go downtown Manhattan, they're just houses. They're like cottages. You know what I'm saying? And then it wasn't until America really started, getting money, where they started building these big buildings with pillars and big giant domes and freaking statues on top of the domes. To mimic Rome, because Rome was known as the greatest empire in history. So they were like, "Oh, we're going to copy them." And because America is now the greatest empire, other countries copied our style, which was Rome. So
that just shows you why creating a god, Alexandra. You seen the Netflix? I started watching it.
I only watched it until the gay scene, and I was like, all right, I can't watch this right now.
Damn, I can't wait to finish watching it.
What the hell? You didn't watch it then? I just started watching it. It was like the first 5 minutes. I was like, all right, let me pause this.
I didn't see a gay scene.
It's the first thing that happens.
Spoiler alert.
Show that gay scene.
We can't show any of that shit.
Why can't we? They can show it on Netflix.
Oh, no, not on YouTube.
It's made for kids.
It's made for children. Not in Florida, sir. All right, so that's interesting. I still want to know what the building looks like.
Also George Washington, no kids. He never had any kids.
I feel like I knew that, and I feel like...
And I also don't believe it. Okay? Because this happens a lot. He didn't have any kids with his wife. But I'm sure... And the slaves that he must have had some kids on the side with one of the slaves, like Thomas Jefferson did.
So he didn't have children with his wife, but you think he had children with his property?
Yeah, I suspect it. Yeah, because they all did. They all did that. They had a house slave that they would mess around every once in a while. Again, Thomas Jefferson has a whole family of black people because he did that.
I wonder if that's true.
There's no way to find out unless we have his DNA. Imagine they did that.
With the one tooth that they found?
Yeah. They started taking famous people's DNA and they put it into the Ancestry.com or something.
Yeah.
And then they find matches. They're like, what the hell are these people that are...
Oh my God. As if people need to be full of themselves.
I know, right?
They're like, my bloodline has the founding fathers. I was actually talking about this history with my son because he just took his Regents exam on history, and it's the one class that he's fucking up on.
You know you don't have to.
No.
Oh, okay.
We actually delayed it a few times.
I told Damien, I was like, don't take that. Just graduate. You'll be fine.
He shouldn't have, but his mother. Regardless, so it's the one topic that he's doing bad in. It's the one thing
I love this hat, I gotta say. I feel like I'm gonna wear it outside. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change my whole style, bro. I might start rocking.
It's kind of dope, right?
Yeah. I can't wait till I start like getting gray on my beard. I'm gonna start wearing guayaberas and freaking what are they called? Fedora hats. That's it. That's gonna be
when
my
you
style.
start getting gray.
Yeah, once I start getting gray, legit, I'm gonna start changing my thing. It's coming. I saw one hair the other day. I was like,
I'm already there, but this poor lighting will show you that.
Also, I have a lot of blonde hair, so it kind of like fades. Even if there were white hairs, then you wouldn't even tell.
He's a blondie.
Dirty hair.
Dirty. So, what else you got for President's Day?
Bro, I got 1,000 things.
Because you wrote a whole entire
Thomas
thing.
Jefferson invented the swivel chair. Did you know that?
Let's give him honor and recognition for his contribution. Let's see what that feels like. Damn, nigga, you fucked everything up. Look at me. I'm all the way the other side of the planet now.
I had to hit this.
Yeah. Bro, your camera's showing.
Nah, you know the secret sauce. All right.
I wonder what was it. You sit in a regular chair. You just instinctively want to.
You think he had like ADHD or something? He's like, fuck, I'm gonna move around, but also I want to.
He must have been sitting in the White House and been like, somebody walked next to him.
He's constantly turning
He's constantly
his neck. Yeah. He's like, oh, my freaking neck. Every time somebody comes in, I gotta. So he's like, I wish I could just move the whole chair. I would love to see what that first one looked like.
He must have been like, it must have elevated his position. Like he's already the man, the president of the United States.
Imagine the first time.
Wait, did he invent it before his presidency or after?
He was
or during?
No, that's a good question.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like he must have sat in that chair. If he invented it while he was president, he must have sat in that chair, and they must have been like, "This nigga's the president, son. Look at him.
Thomas Jefferson.
He's spinning."
I suspect. Okay, he was the third president. So did he invent it before? I don't know. I can't.
Something to think about.
That's too much research.
It's too much. Besides to think about.
But I could just imagine somebody walks in the office, and they're like, "Mr. Jefferson," and then he doesn't move, and they're like, "Mr. Jefferson." All of a sudden, the entire chair starts spinning and the person's like, "What?"
They must have been like, "Mr. President."
Wow.
That's why I asked if he invented it like during office, because he must have rolled up like, yeah, I'm gonna see some spinning.
John Adams.
What you got for John?
And Thomas Jefferson both died on the same day. You want to know what day? July 4th.
Shut up.
That's that crazy? That makes you feel like we live in the Matrix. Stuff like that. I'm like, wow, that's such a coincidence.
That's too much.
Both of them? Two presidents? On the same day.
On the day we celebrate.
Same day, same year. Not like one July 4th and the next year the next guy July 4th. No.
The same July 4th.
Same July 4th, yeah.
But they weren't in office, obviously.
No, they weren't.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The likely and the day of our independence. That's
all right.
That's pretty wild. Natural causes? You don't know. Too much. Too deep.
Yeah, they're just old. It was 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence, so they were like 70.
Oh, they were done.
Remember, they were young when they signed it. All of them were in their 20s. I think one of them was in their 30s.
Can you imagine?
I know, you just show up to a country like, we're about to do something.
We're about to do some shit.
But think about it. Before they did all that, they were like, F you to the king. of the world.
Of the planet.
They were like, nah, we ain't paying no taxes.
We're not doing that no more.
You ain't coming. And then the king sent soldiers, and they fought the soldiers and started a freaking war.
And the French helped us.
Yeah. And then if I remember correctly, that had
And now we're all friends.
And that led into the French Revolution, I think, if I remember correctly. Let's see. French Revolution.
I look like if the president was dug up. That's what I'm looking like right now.
Yep. That led into the French Revolution. That taste of fighting for freedom led the French to kill the monarchs. They beheaded them. They caught their own king, dragged them into the street, the queen, and they cut their heads off with the guillotine in front of everybody.
Not the queen.
Everybody.
The queen?
They killed them all. They got rid of the monarchy, and they became a government just like we did. They copied us. But they went way overboard. We were like, leave us alone.
Yeah, we're going to just chill here.
They were like, no, we're killing them. We're not going to.
We're going to annihilate everything and start fresh.
Imagine America did something like that. They were like, okay, let's go to Britain and let's go kill that king. Now that we have our independence, now that we beat them there, let's get some ships together. Let's go over there and kill them.
Kind of like what we did with Afghanistan.
What? I don't. That's the future. I don't know what you're talking about.
No worry, we don't know about that yet, but it's coming. Yeah, but think about how wild that is. You move to a country, your leader. You move to a foreign land. Your leader is a king and a queen. So like
forever, like for as long as history you know, thousands of years.
So me and you, we're two neighbors. We're like, you know what? We should pack up and go to this.
Go to an island
There's
somewhere.
land there. We could have massive land.
Yeah.
Let's go. We grab all our stuff, and we just ship out there, and we take up like sticks and like this from here to here is mine.
And then whenever anybody
yours.
from that country is like, no, you can't do that. They're like, we'll kill you if you do that. If you try to take away our land that we just claimed.
It's ours now.
It's ours now.
They must have been like, why are we still paying and following this king?
Yeah.
All the way over here.
That's exactly what it was. And they were like, man, we ain't paying for
like
this.
We're dealing with our own money. I'm dealing with the neighbor over here.
I think it had to do with they were starting to tax like a whole bunch of stuff, and one of the things they taxed was tea. And they were like, nah, son.
It's a wrap.
I'd rather throw that tea into the ocean
and drink the whales. I was gonna say drink the
whales. Feed the whales. Yeah. Drink the whales.
Hydrate the whales. That's what I meant.
That's mad. What's it called? Caffeine. The fish there must have been going crazy.
They must have been
just throwing buckets and buckets of tea in the water.
And then later on, the niggas ate the fish and were like, I feel like I gotta work out.
Oh, the fish is just dying, catching heart attacks.
Fish have hearts.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. All right.
Technically, this episode will be right after Valentine's.
Yeah.
All those single niggas, you'll be all right.
Martin Van Buren, paste. Okay, hold on. I want to see when he was alive. He was born in 1837. Okay. So the founding of the nation was 1776. Right?
Yeah.
He was born 1837, so he was born after. He's the first president ever to serve that was born a citizen of America. Everybody else was born British subject.
Wow.
He was
technically the first president.
Yeah.
First American
president.
What was his name?
Martin Van Buren.
Van Buren. And from then on, I would imagine all of them were, or maybe one or two were.
There'll probably some slipped in there. They're starting to dwindling away. Yeah. The next president is William Henry Harrison. He delivered the longest inaugural speech. Oh man, I forgot how long it was. It was like 2 and something out, like 2 hours and a half. So he was like, "I'm the president. Let me talk for 2 hours." He died 32 days later of pneumonia.
For talking all that shit. Yeah. that's like what a Rogan's episode.
So he spoke the longest, and then became the shortest running president ever in history. 32 days.
He was like, I'm going out with a bang, you heard? Y'all gotta remember me for something, coño. What else you got?
Okay, interesting. James K. Polk. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've never heard of this president in my life.
Never heard of that president either.
He was the first president to have a photograph taken of him.
Mr. Polk?
Mr. Polk.
President Polk.
Uh-huh.
The first president to allow?
No, to have.
To have a picture.
Just somebody took a picture of him. First time ever.
What president was that? What number?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
He was the 15th president.
Oh, snap. I just...
Nah. He would have to be at least the 20s. The 21st president. That's my guess. I'm putting $1 on it.
Peace. 21st president, James K. Polk. He was the... I wish they would just tell me straight up.
Like...
Instead of me having to look for it, you know?
President
right, let's check Wikipedia.
by order.
All right. He was in office... Where is it?
I mean, he wasn't in office long. It's going to be the shortest paragraph. No, this is the president that took a picture. Right, that was the other president.
Oh, man. They're freaking killing me here.
So...
Got like hunted down.
What happens in President's Day?
Like, what are we supposed to do?
I mean, we don't do crap. We look forward to doing nothing on holidays. That's literally the point of holidays. To do nothing.
Oh, you know, barbecues and stuff. But for President's Day, he was the 11th president, by the way.
Wow.
That took a while to find. But on President's Day, I'm going to tell you what is the tradition in America for President's Day is to buy mattresses on sale. That's what
PC Richard is
yeah. Siemens. Siemens. That's the name of the mattress company.
What a name.
Sealy's Posturepedic.
All right. What a name. Siemens.
That's hilarious. All right. Franklin Pierce, okay, as president, was arrested for running over a woman with his horse, but the charges were later dropped because of lack of evidence.
So Trump is not the first to to allegedly commit crimes. Allegedly.
James Buchanan, lifelong bachelor, never got married.
Ooh.
So what I heard.
He was gay.
Very good. What I heard is that he was roommates with his vice president, and they were lifelong roommates. And everybody was like, suspicious.
Bert and Ernie, not the Bert and Ernie original story. America. That's interesting. That's probably where the inspiration for Bert and Ernie came from. Who knows?
All right. Ulysses S. Grant was Ulysses S. Grant received a speeding ticket for riding his horse too fast.
First of all, how are they measuring this? By observation?
How do they know? Yeah, no running your horse.
There's no odometer on the cows on the horse's head. Yeah, somebody must have saw him, and that person probably didn't like this. They didn't vote for him. Like, vote this president, we'll pull him over.
Grover Cleveland was their only president so far to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, making him both the 22nd president and the 24th president.
So Trump would be the second president to do that if he wins?
If he wins. It'll be Trump, Biden, Trump. It'll be the second one in history to do it.
To have a non-consecutive term.
If he becomes president, it'd be the craziest thing ever.
First of all, it is so looking like that right now.
If I was Trump and I became president, I would rename President's Day to President Trump's Day.
And shit on Washington and Lincoln?
Shit on both.
I'm guessing that they added Lincoln because, think about it, right? It's President's Day. And you honor the first one because it's the beginning of this new government, this new country, this new whatever. right? So that's important. What else do you think of in history that is that's at that level?
For like president?
No. For this acknowledgement of President's Day. Right? Like, what did Washington do? That we're celebrating President's Day for him. When I went on Amazon, right, and I looked up costumes, I typed in President's Day outfits, costumes, or something. And the thing that came up was George Washington, which is what I'm wearing, and then Abraham Lincoln. Nothing else popped up. They had like a Trump mask and a thing. Yeah. But when this was definitely it. Yeah.
This was like more serious.
This was like, but this was the thing that popped up the most. So then when I looked up the fun facts about President's Day.
I gotta say, I love that costume.
Thanks. I didn't make it, but thanks. When I looked up costumes, the reason why those two came up when I looked up the history of President's Day is because they're specifically honoring Washington, which makes sense because he's the first president. But then, like, why does Lincoln get considered?
Because he fought the Civil War and freed the slaves.
Because that was the unification of the country, the Union.
Yeah. Before that, it was barely holding together.
It was like
even during the Revolution War, there was points where the South was like, we shouldn't fight. Why are we sending our men to die up north?
Yeah. There was division,
and that's actually what rumor has it. That's one of the reasons why Washington was very why they were looking towards Washington to help the most, because he's from Virginia, and they were like, we need a guy from the South, and Washington is one of the best generals, so let's use him to help us run, our army here in the North, and it's going to unite both sides. But he does such a good job, they were like, he should be president.
When I was talking about history with my son, I was just reminiscing with him on just like the fundamental changes that they enacted, like the stuff that they went through, and things must have taken so long.
What do you mean? Oh, for war? I
progress.
think about it all the time. Sometimes I drive from one place to another, like going to Jersey from here. Imagine doing that on a horse. That's like a day's trip, bro.
You know the 3rd Street Park here in Park Slope, the 3rd Street Park that's there on 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue, whatever it is. George Washington, if you go there's like a historical building there in the middle. It's not the bathroom. Yeah. It's not just the bathroom.
You're talking about where the school's at?
Yeah, 51s.
51s, yeah.
So right across the street, there's a historical building there. And it was a battle that Washington fought, and he laid refuge there. He lost the battle, but he stayed there a few days, and then he retreated to Prospect Park. And every time I drive by that area or go by there, I think about these niggas rolling up with a squad of
horses, just cannons, just right on 4th Avenue, just with freaking muskets.
First of all, they got here on they got here on a boat. That's first of all.
Yeah.
Like they didn't cross the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, yeah. They landed their raft right on the coast,
right on the water, and then headed in.
Right where Staples is at, just down there. Just down that area. They just pull it up.
And they pulled up and they laid refuge there, and then they fought a battle further up.
And then remember, isn't that canal? The Gowanus Canal's over there. They probably had little boats where they were going through the canal.
Going in.
Meanwhile, freaking it's poisonous. That canal now is freaking it's toxic waste.
It's pure crap.
Disgusting. Yeah. Washington was probably in that water too
when it was clean and beautiful and blue, and you could see your feet.
Do you remember when the dolphin was there?
There was a dolphin because of the pandemic.
Something happened. The dolphin got in there, but because the water was so dirty, the dolphin died. You remember that?
No.
It died in the canal. It couldn't come out. It was like in the canal.
It got stuck and it died.
It got stuck, but the water was so dirty, it wound up dying. That's what everybody says. Just dead, dirty water killed it. Happy President's Day. It's just getting in his eyes and his mouth.
That's what I was thinking. The water. Wow. So, yeah, President's Day now is just a day that we buy mattresses and we take off. Another day that's like that would be... Is there a president's, like, parade, march?
I think so.
Right? There should be something. Again... Today we just think of it as a day off, a day to do barbecue, a day to like get chores done, laundry. Yeah, much of you did laundry on that day. Don't lie. I hope you folded it and put it away by now.
President's Day parade. Let's look it up. There gotta be something. President's Day in New York. Let's see if there's one in New York.
Right, because when I think of President's Day, I'm thinking about honoring, it's a recognition of all the presidents that served or were elected of this country. But really, it's just two people that they're celebrating.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Right, look what it says. It's popular. It's a popular day for retail. Many stores mark it as the start of their sales season. Siemens Posturepedic.
See, that's right. That's how we end up here. That is how we end up in this category. So literally, it's not to honor all presidents. It's recognizing two presidents' birthdays.
Basically, yeah. That's all we care about.
And two presidents that profoundly
Change the country. Change the world.
changed the world. But I feel like when it comes to Washington, like he didn't really do much. He was just the first.
Well, he made the country.
Fight. Yeah, he made it.
Well, yeah, he's the one that he led the fight to beat the British for us to even have a country.
He led it. He was a general.
He was a general. Here comes the general. Remember the song?
No.
You watched it? You watched Hamilton, right? Here comes the general.
That's what he did.
Yeah, he ran.
And then because he was he succeeded in fighting, the group of people under him were like,
they wanted to make him the king.
They wanted to make him
the king of America. And he was like, nah.
And he was also like, yeah, stay president until you die. He was like, tampoco.
Tampoco, yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing all that.
And
I'm tired.
Was he had 2 terms?
I think that's a great question. Why do I feel like he did 3?
I think only one president did 3. I don't know.
Should that change?
No, that's good. I think even what we have now is long.
4 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's
God knows
see.
we could have used less of certain presidents in office. So he probably did 2. He probably didn't even do 4 years.
Or 2 terms, yeah. He did 2 terms. That's it. And then
He kicked it off. Kicked it off right.
And then the only one that did 3
Was the next president.
3-term president was Roosevelt. That's right. That's who it was. Because of the war. World War II. He's like, I can't.
That's the only time a president can suspend.
He held it on to it. He's like, I'm not going to. Do you want to change presidents in the middle of the war?
That's the only. They can legally do that.
Yeah. That's why Trump was like, let's start a war.
Yo, imagine that's what Biden does.
No, wait. Imagine Trump wins. And he's like, all right, bomb Iran. That's it. Let's start World War III. I'll be president for the next 20 years.
And he doesn't have to stay. He doesn't have to stay president if he does that. Like the sitting president can start a war and use that loophole or law and be like, yeah, I could stay, but
I'm gonna give it to the next guy. In fact, I gotta choose the guy. We can't have an election. I have to choose the guy.
No, I don't think they could do that.
And I choose my son.
Junior?
And then my daughter. First woman president. Oh, but that'd be such a freaking move. I choose my daughter. First woman president. All right, Benjamin Harrison, first president to have electricity in the White House.
That nigga was chilling.
He was reportedly afraid to touch the light switches.
I would be too.
Because they just invented it. It was probably, you ever seen those movies where they like when they're gonna with the Frankenstein where they're gonna pop the switch. It was probably just tiny ones of those to turn the light switches on and off.
Oh my gosh! Right, like a little knob.
Like a little knob.
So if you touch the
every
side,
time you touch it,
it sparks.
Yeah, a little spark. That's probably.
I would be shitting myself.
And then at the time, this is magic.
I'd be like, slave, go touch that switch there, please.
But at the time, this is magic too. You put it on, all of a sudden, there's no candles, but the lights are on.
You left it on.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably they just left it on.
Where would they get it? Okay, that's a whole other.
All right.
I'm like, where did they get the electricity from, pendeja?
William McKinley, first president to ride in an automobile. In 1899.
Wow.
We're getting closer.
We're getting closer to today.
I wonder what they look like.
The cars?
The people. Because there's like a way, when you look at history and you look at people, like what they look like this is like a mix of old-timey and new-timey. If you look at William McKinley, what he's wearing, it's almost like modern, but it's not quite. It's still kind of old looking, you know? That's crazy. All right. Theodore Roosevelt, he was an author. He wrote 35 books. And he won the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating the end of the Russo-Japanese War. William Taft was the heaviest president. So reportedly getting stuck in the White House bathtub.
What year was this?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
What year are we on? We're in the 1900s now?
Yeah.
All right, so if we're in the 1900s, that's like halfway, right?
17,
18. Yeah, we're pretty much in the middle right now. And in the middle, so far, we got electricity, we got pictures, we got cars.
Remember, before that, the speeding ticket was on a horse.
Again, wallet that you got a speeding ticket on a horse. But I guess it makes sense if you're going too fast. So those are so far, that's where we are. Yeah. Airplanes was invented.
When was airplane invented? You remember?
The Wright brothers was in the 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. So we're like, and we're stepping into the Industrial Revolution. So maybe it is a little later.
Airplane, what? Airplane, oh my God.
1849. No, that seems too far back.
1903. Yeah.
So we're about to get it.
So they just get it. Every time I think about the year the airplane was invented and the year that we went to the moon, 1903. When did we when did we start NASA? 1960s.
In the 60s.
60 years, bro.
We went from taking a little hop
into the atmosphere
to the stratosphere.
You saw the video that I posted of the freaking the International Space Station is watching a rocket shoot up. And it's from the space, and you can see it coming up, and you can see the atmosphere of Earth, and it going past the atmosphere. It's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Our atmosphere is so thin. It's like almost dangerously thin.
Like papel.
There's like nothing. It's like almost nothing. It's crazy to watch it. Like, oh my God, we barely have air on this Earth.
And we're piercing this thing constantly.
We barely have air covering us. It's nuts.
All right. So we're at the halfway point. Let's take a quick break. Check out this next episode of The Basement.
You've got mail.
You know, so when Bush says, you know what, that sounds like a good idea, what he's doing is off the cuff. We could be friends, bro. Of course we could be friends. And then he goes back to his country or his people, and he's like, look, we want to start this process. And then the guy from whatever, I don't know, France or something is like, you know, we would love to work with Russia, but we can't because, you know, they did this, and the third. And if we do this, it's going to make us look weak as a country. And then Germany comes in, they're like, we buy oil from Russia. We can't do this. Like, there may be more behind it. And then George Bush is like, you know what, you're right. We might have to wait. I can't do it as my presidency because I only have 4 years left, but I'm sure somebody else could. So he goes to Putin. He goes, we can't do that just yet.
When you finished, because I haven't finished the interview with Putin. When you finished,
he takes his shirt off. You know that, right?
You know, I didn't know that I was going to be sitting talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read.
Woodrow Wilson, first president to earn a PhD. There was a president, I forgot who, I should have wrote it down. There's a president that became president but never went to school, ever. In his life, he never went to school. And they said that the way he spoke, his grammar, was illiterate, like an illiterate person. And that he didn't know how to write and he didn't know how to read.
I'm instantly, while you were saying that, I was picturing the governor of Pennsylvania. Okay.
Calvin Coolidge, blah, blah, blah.
So the first official, like you would think a president would be well educated.
You would think
that was the
now.
first one. Now. But back then.
It's almost like they elevated the standards and like, okay, we can't go lower than that now. You know, he's educated now. We can't go any lower than uneducated. You know, like they set the bar now.
And we kept doing that.
Yeah.
And now it feels like we're trying to reduce that bar.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Ese que está ahí.
He has a military background. Before becoming president, he was a 5-star general during World War II.
See, that's so back then the qualifications would have been military.
Yeah. In fact, I think if I remember correctly, Trump was one of the first presidents not to be in the military, not to serve.
Really?
No, wait, then Obama.
That can't be.
I don't know. I remember hearing like he was
Did Reagan? Reagan went out there.
Reagan.
Reagan was an actor.
Reagan was an actor.
So it could have been.
Could have been. So
Nixon? Nixon went out there?
I don't know.
Nixon
Tricky
didn't go
Dick?
out there.
That's what they called him. Yeah.
What?
That's what they called him.
Drinky?
Tricky.
Tricky Dick. Because his name was Dick.
Yeah.
Not because he was, well, he technically was a dick. It was a dick move.
Tricky Dick. Yeah, Tricky Dick. And they called him something else in Vietnam. They called him something else. Because during the Vietnam War, he was a president. They called him something in Vietnam. I forgot what they called him. All right. Richard Nixon's Tricky Dick.
All right. Well, what else you got? Next
All right,
president.
keep going. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Okay. John F. Kennedy won the Pulitzer Prize for the book Profiles in Courage. It's like I don't know. You got an award for writing a good book.
That's Kennedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson. He had an amphibious car.
Amphibious car.
That's interesting.
Okay, so we went to the first car to the water car. Got it.
Oh. Gerald D. Ford played football in college. And he was offered. Wow, that's interesting. Gerald Ford played college football, and he was offered contracts by the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, and he turned them down. He could have been a football player instead of a president. That's nuts.
What an array of options.
I know, right? I'm winning either way. Either way, I'm doing great in life.
You and I are just trying to have a pension, like a retirement.
Give me something.
Just trying to survive. This guy had mad options.
Ronald Reagan was an actor. We know that.
I'm guessing he must have been the first actor, if that's what came up.
George H.W. Bush celebrated his 75th, 80th, 85th, 90th birthday by skydiving.
Who?
George W.H. Bush.
The dad.
That might be the dad.
That is the dad.
Obama was the first president to win a Grammy Award.
The Grammy Award is the Actors Award?
That's for like audio.
Audio.
He won it for an audio book called Dreams for My Father.
Okay, and that's it.
Get ready.
Here comes the good ones.
Conspiracy Corner. Play the music. Thank you. Now we're back. Interesting facts. Right? Between two presidents that were assassinated. Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. Okay? All right. Kennedy was assassinated April 14th, 1965. Lincoln, April 14th, 1865. Kennedy was assassinated November 22nd, 1963. Okay? I just wanted to give you guys, so you can see how far apart they are, okay? All right.
And those
Ready?
were the only two that were assassinated.
I think there was more. I can't remember.
All of a sudden, our audio stopped working. Is this another conspiracy? Are they listening to us? The basement.
Yo, what up, everybody? If you like what you saw, please click on some of the video links on the side. And please support our channel by liking, subscribing, and leave a little comment. And maybe we'll respond back to you. And hopefully, you'll be a guest on our next episode.
With family living in the lower deck, I won't say names, but I was lame and I was spewing disrespect. Turn to God to disinfect. That's worth to Trump. Now let's inspect to interject on what the youngest spitting. I'm spitting for where the sacred texts are given.